there's going to be a time when he's great, but he's always been such a great kid. And I've just been so impressed with how he's handled all the hype and all the glitz and all the glimmer. And things didn't go exactly like he wanted them necessarily last year, but never threw in the towel, continued to show up, work hard. Coach Hagan did a great job with him, and he just continued to work on things and get better, and you're starting to see that. In this day and age, it's so hard when young guys get so much exposure that, it's easy to kind of say, well, hey, it didn't go my way, and, it's your fault or somebody else's fault. He just continued to work and get in shape, learn the offense, and hang in there, and he never has been jealous of Speedy or anybody else, of Demetrius, and that's, when you have first-class guys like that on your team, that's when it all comes together. When one of your best players can be that humble and that dedicated and that giving to everybody else, that just provides a lot of fuel for everybody.
I thought all your running backs liked it.
Yeah. I said before, I like all four of those guys, and I think there's going to be a place for each one of them. I think they're all going to be happy that they have them because they're going to be able to play full speed, play for the full season, not have to be a guy that just gets beat up and wore out every Saturday and then hopefully gets back to some sort of a semblance of healthy by the next Saturday. But, yeah, those four are pretty dynamic guys.
Coach, do you feel more confident about this team and what it might be capable of next year than you have?
Yeah, I think we definitely, like I said, I think it was by far the best spring we've had. We need to get those young guys in here and get them going and see how they can contribute, but I really feel like we're starting to get some people that have been around the block a little bit, some competition, some depth in there, and all those things bode well for these guys.
We had talked before the season, I think it was 2 years ago, you were 7-on-7 because you didn't have enough for one line, and Ryan was just saying you have enough for two. What does that bode when you have that?
It all starts there. It all starts, and it's hard for everybody else to practice and get meaningful practice when you don't have that going on at the line of scrimmage. So being able to have some bodies that everybody else can get some reps on, whether you're running the ball or working on pass protection, that's very critical. And get those other guys healed up, we'll have a nice boss in there. We will.
Do you feel for what you saw today in the spring that you'll be able to name a starting quarterback first?
Yeah, we're not worried about that. I thought they both played really well, and again, they've done such a nice job of handling the whole thing, and we'll let it play out and see how that goes. But they both have been very giving and not jealous of each other, and they both have played pretty well.
What does it do for a football team to have two competent guys where the team believes in both guys?
I think it's great, and again, I think it's what better sign for the rest of your football team when you have somebody at a premier position who's not being selfish, willing to do whatever it takes to help the team. And again, I think that depth helps us either way.
What happened between last year and this year or this spring for Marcus Burton? He seemed to become kind of a different guy.
Well, yeah, it's when you're in the kid business, and I know I've sort of teased you guys about this a little bit. These guys have a bevy of things going on outside of here. And I think for anybody to be really good at something, you sort of have to simplify your life and focus on a few things. And sometimes there are other things, periphery things going on that make it harder for these guys to solely focus on that part of it or any part of it. And they finally hit a niche where they get in a groove and they get organized and their life comes together and they're able to prioritize and really focus on those things that really mean the most to them. And I think he's in that case. He's one of those guys that's just sort of matured, settled down, got a good handle on it. He's put his life together and he's able to kind of focus on what it is that's important. But, he and Taj is very much in the same category. I thought Taj had a great both those guys have been kind of lingering around in the background, and we never shut the door on them. The door is always open for them to come through, and then trying to put their lives together so that they're able to come through.